So following on as I was doing my course here, it then gave me some confidence to and the actual understanding that actually this mum has got so many traumas herself. Was what was impacting her parenting her own children. So she had initially come to me to say that she felt her child had ADHD because he was out of control, wouldn't do what he's told in the house, would often throw things at her, refuse to do things. So that was my way in. I was like, come in, let's have a chat about it. So then doing the course, it gave me the confidence to understand that I actually knew more about the research and to help mum understand. So I was able to talk to her if she felt any of her past parenting by her own parents sort of made her think of times that she was doing the same and triggering her off at home. So that then opened up to a whole new world within our relationship, because she then disclosed to me that she had been living in a bus stop from the age of 13, 14 most nights. Mum, so her mum, maternal mum, was a drinker. Her dad used to beat her mum up. She then took to criminal activity to keep herself fed and clothed. She'd been in a young offenders institute. So obviously then I realised I needed to sort of not treat her like a child, but I equally needed to help her and come to terms with her trauma, to understand them and how that impact was happening with her own parenting.
Like intergenerational trauma.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was like a little light bulb moment for me, because I was like, this is how this course works so well, because this is exactly intergenerational trauma happening with this mum with her children. She's a really, really good mum. I could see the way that she used to, blame herself for things that she really wanted to try her best. She told me that she wanted to be a good mum, not like her mum was to her. So over a few weeks, she even then went on to disclose to me that the boy's dad had actually been physically aggressive to her, to the point that he'd put cigarettes on her, he'd thrown her downstairs when she was pregnant. So she'd gone from one trauma to another. So she'd seen it herself on her dad, and then she was experiencing it herself. She then started to trust me to the point that she actually said, I wish you were my mum, because my mum didn't listen to me like you do. Because I was like, this is all this mum really wants, is someone to listen to her and understand, how she was feeling and what she'd been through. Nobody had ever, she'd not let anyone into her life to understand that. We then, obviously, we spent the first sessions talking about mum, and then it was really good to explain to her sort of the research behind it, to help her understand why these things were happening. And to be honest, she's amazing. Although she thinks she can't read and write and isn't very clever, she was really good at reflecting and actually understanding what was happening and taking things on board. So I then went on for sessions to continue with mum to talk about pace. So, how playful parenting would be, following all the normal pace of it, being curious of why he was acting the way he was, being empathetic and attuning to him. She actually said you should tell all parents about pace because it's magic and it works. So she was really pleased with pace.
So did you actually play with her, Anwen, or?
Yeah, so I would give her some scenarios and, tell her to sort of be the child and I would be the mum. So that was how we done it. I made saying to her, I'm going to be the mum and I'm really sorry I'm such a naggy head, and we played it like that, and she was laughing and she took that on board and thought it was really good.
So she actually practiced doing playful things with you, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So that she said that really helped her, because she finds it hard to understand things unless you actually shown her what it was. So we practiced that. She went home, said that was amazing and that had really helped her. She recognized that she does trigger, so she said she knows herself. She went from 0 to 1 million to shout at her child. when something was going wrong that triggered her. She was very, very good at reflecting on this as the weeks went by. She would come back with different scenarios to me. I then decided, a bit sneakily, to handpick quite a few of our mums that were on the list for a mums group, because the dad's group was so popular, it made the mums feel like they were really missing out. And then I had so many names down, it was unbelievable. So that group is run where the dad or the mum comes along to school. I get their child out of class, and then they have some one-to-one time with their child to do a lot of attachment play with these parents that I could see were struggling. And my aim was to go around each sort of set of parents and sit to one side and listen to them and help them and engage with them, to say some ideas of using playful parenting and positive parent, as in your, 6 positive facts to 1 command, not facts. So basically I suggested to mum to come along to the mums group. She was like, no, never. Everyone just looks at me, they don't think I know I'm not a good enough mum. Everyone will just look at what I do. The children won't behave when I'm there, they'll just play me up. So I said to her, what if I am in this group and I promise you I will sit and support you? I think you'll really enjoy it, and I think your child will really benefit from this. It was my whole highlight of the year when she turned up to the and it just so heartwarming to see. 1, she'd got the confidence to come there and do it, and 2, the look on her little boy's face, who's normally 1 in class that doesn't get called out when it's any activities, parental activities. It was amazing to watch his little face. It was just, and her face, to see how excited he was. So initially it did start off very much mum led and commanded, but I was in a playful way able to support her with that and say, about how it'll work so well if you let him lead. How about him leading mum and then you doing what he wants you to do? They'd made a photo frame up, and it was mum and me, and she said that had actually made her life, and that was the best thing that she would ever have, and she would treasure it forever. She was really, really excited. So that went down really well. Mum continued to come to all the mums groups. I feel like she'd started to connect to some of the other mums who most probably felt very much like her as well, that they weren't good enough. She started, I do a time to talk that I set up after my TISUK course. So she's been coming to that every Monday, and she knocks on the window in between to show or tell me anything that she's been doing. She now sends me photographs of different craft activities she's doing with the children, because these were other things that I gave her ideas for. She totally transformed it, and even everyone in school has said what a massive difference she is. For a bonus as well, the little one was an ALN, so he was a pupil that struggled before, but part of her triggers were her bedtime routines at night. She felt they were all testing their boundaries, and this is where they'd start to, not listen to her and be quite violent in their ways. So we changed that around, talking to her about different strategies. So she changed that to a time where they all lie on the bed and she reads them a story. I got her some books from the Books Trust. And the bonus of the whole thing was that her little boy, in just a short time at all, most probably the time that I've done this course, has now gone up 2 sets in his literacy, so his phonics and his writing, and he's a year 1 pupil. So he's struggled for quite a few years, but just her spending that time and getting the love for reading with him. And so I asked the head teacher if she would come and, give a big praise to mum, because mum needs to realise that's a big part of that has come from her and her time with him. And she is just glowing. So you see her now. She used to be one of the mums with the hood zip, not bother with anyone. And she comes now and she's glowing, and really proud of.
What do you think was the most effective bit of the course for you? What was the most helpful thing for you?
I think giving me the knowledge to understand how these traumas work on parents and then are passed down to the children. Before I did this course, I felt quite confident that I could help parents with a positive parenting approach. So they would come in and I would, you know, give them some support on how to parent the children, but I never actually knew how to, or why to look behind all these reasons why they were struggling with their own children. Quite often I would just think they struggle to parent themselves. But after doing the course, I actually understood a lot more neurochemically why, how to word it and talk to them to build that relationship with them, for them to be able to trust me. And then really, it is honestly the best course I've ever done in my life. And I feel like I wish I had more hours to help so many more families, because every time I use it, parents, it's as if it's a bit of a relief for them to be able to say it and for them to understand why they're struggling as a parent themselves. It's sort of, oh, you've just told me and now I know we can fix it and this is why it's happening.